What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I want to jam on a little bit of learning how to love your body. Learning how to love your body. One of the things that has been really revolutionary for me is learning how to live in my body rather than with my body. And this difference came when I began really diving into, all the things self-love, all of the things holistic health and all of the greatness. But what really kind of nailed it down for me was realizing that I am a soul living in a human body, that this is just here as a vessel to teach me all of my deepest lessons. It's my belief that, right, we are put into these bodies, into this earth, into the families that we are, so that we can move through all of that and really understand that inner being that lives within us that is calm and soft and beautiful and present. And so being and living in our body means that we're open to what it's here to teach us. Every day, our body is teaching us things. Every day, our intuition is speaking to us through our soul. And it's when we're really listening to those things is when we really are able to love our body, right? It's when we're listening to our body. So, right there, the biggest takeaway from this for me is learning to love your body comes with listening to your body. Little nugget there. Listening to it when it says move, listening to it when it says rest, listening to it when it says eat. It's so cool for me to really be here with all of you and just really talking about the body because, again, right, getting to know me, getting to know everything that I've moved through, my body image has been huge. And for most women, it really is. We have a complex society, and we have a society that really judges us for that external appearance rather than that inner being. And where I feel like we're shifting, and I totally have faith in humanity. I am a hopeful human on this planet. It's really important that we're listening to the vessel that holds the soul as it gives us all of the messages and all of the answers and everything that we need. The unconscious systems, the ego brain, right? That we have to really understand how it's programmed and integrate that. The central nervous system, where we have to really work with it to make sure that we're not going into fight, flight, or freeze mode. The menstrual cycle, right? That we have to really learn and understand the changes in our hormone levels throughout our body. We're living in this body. It's such a cool tool. And one of the things that I've really come to say is that, like, for as much as I've treated my body poorly, my body never gave up on me. My body's still holding me. Your body's still holding you. So some practices and some ways that I just kind of really feel it's necessary for us to bring forward in this podcast is for us to listen. And how do we listen, right? It's like slowing down in the morning and slowly drinking a glass of water. Opening up to say, what kind of movement do you want today? Not it's cardio day, I have to do cardio, right? We have to get out of that ego of go, go, go and get into the heart space of be. It's who we're being through how we're listening that gets us to the places that we want to go. And this is really important. Who we're being. We're a human being, not a human doing. One of my favorite things, a human being. So who are we being in this body, right? And how are we nourishing this body? How are we nourishing this body? With energy, the energy that we're around and that we bring into our space, the energy of our space, the nutrients that we fuel our body with. So good, right? We are completely and utterly always moving deeper and deeper into a relationship that we have with self. So when we talk about self-love and I love your body and all of this, really, really great. But the way that we love our bodies the most is that we live in them and we listen to them. We live in our body and we listen to it. It's our greatest tool, right? It gets us from here to there. Our hands unconsciously do things. Our mind, we breathe unconsciously, right? But when we deepen that breath, we move into that parasympathetic response, that nice, easy opening, that relaxation. As meditation and all of these things become the hot new thing, it's not for no reason. It's because it does such great things for you and your body. And your body craves stillness and rest and movement and nourishment. One of the things that I feel like in my life, the reasons that I've struggled with body image so much is because of the lack of respect I had for my body. Always wishing my body was different, always wishing that it was smaller, always wishing all of these things. But then how did I treat it? Like a garbage can. Marathon runner that never trained. Like, these are the things, is we want to do all of these practices. We want to implement all of this self-love, and straight up, you can't do that without listening to your body. You can't do that without really honoring and loving the vessel that you reside in. When I stopped, it really came down to my diet, my lifestyle. I am a party animal by nature. I love a good party. I love it. I love it. I love it. But my body doesn't love to party as much as my mind does. And maybe you can relate, right? Hangovers aren't fun and aren't cool, and they were just happening all the time. Well, what does that do for me? Throws off my hormones, right? It throws off my appetite. It throws all these other things. So I've had to find a balance between the party animal side of me and the listening to my body. I support party animals in the spiritual realm. I think it's great. We're a human. We need to be getting out there. We need to be having fun. We need to be letting loose. But there's balance to everything. There's awareness to everything. And there's listening to the body before anything else. And this is where it all changed for me, was when I started to nourish my body in the most appropriate ways. When I started to feed my body the foods that it wanted. When I stopped putting toxic things in my body was like, what's up? Instantly, I started to love my body more. Weird. You'll notice, right? And maybe this is something that you've already noticed, that was already a correlation that you've already had. But it's like, if you have a day where you don't eat very well and you look in the mirror, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to have kind of an off feeling about your body, more so than if you look in your body. Right there, though, if I'm being honest, your body probably might not even look any different in that moment. That's the truth. In that moment, your body might look exactly the same if you ate healthy or if you didn't eat healthy that day, and you look in the mirror, your body size probably didn't change, but the way that you viewed and loved your body does, because of the way that you're treating it. And then the judgment that goes on it, and then the emotions, everything's connected to each other. So as we learn how to love our body, it's about treating our body with the respect and the love that it desires. It's about knowing that the body and the mind are separate, but when we actually bring it all together, it's so all connected. One of my favorite things is to literally take the most basic shit and just say it over and over and over again, because this is where we find the little pieces of gold that we're missing. You might not come on this podcast and hear anything that you haven't heard before, maybe haven't thought, maybe you will, who knows? But the idea is to lean into those little sparks. Simplicity, such a key to our growth. We don't need to be talking about all of the things outside of ourselves that we can do, however they're great. It's about what we're doing for and in our body, who we're being, how we're treating it, the vessel that holds our soul. It's such a cool awareness for me to now look at my meat suit, which is what I call my body, which I think is hilarious, and have such gratitude for it, because it does so much for me. It does so much. And what I've found is that through full nourishment, through good movement, through awareness of the unconscious systems within my body, that I don't really even think about my body image like I did. Right? The incessant thoughts that we have about our self-image or the way that we look or all of these things straight up come from the way that you feel about it and the way that you're treating it. So today, what I want you to take away from this morning, afternoon, night snippet of In the Flow podcast is listen to your body. Listening to your body and living in your body will result in loving your body, creating that connection, opening our hearts to create that connection that says, I will treat you well. Thank you for carrying me. Here's some nutritious, good food. Here's some awesome movement. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We take one step closer of creating the habits and creating the feelings and creating the connection between the way we see ourselves and who we are. I hope that you enjoyed this snippet of learning how to love your body, stepping into it. I hope you listen when your body tells you what's up, and I can't wait to see you next time.